welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League. Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Kansas City Chiefs. All that and more coming up next.
No single building has played host to more Super Bowls than this one right here. The Caesars Superdome in the Crescent City of New Orleans. This is Super Bowl 59, and we've got an outstanding matchup on tap. The moment is upon us, and we've got what should be an epic one here. As it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the champions from the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings.
And you get it.
Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. I mean, this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You've got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys don't lack for either one of those. Now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, for the Vikings, this may be their best chance to finally break the goose egg, Charles. They've been here 4 times previously. Still looking, though, for that first Super Bowl victory.
And as every Vikings fan can tell you, those were Super Bowls 4, 8, 9, and 11. So going on close to a half century since their last appearance in the big game.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold them to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defenders' minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Everyone rolls into the Super Bowl saying, hey, I'm confident. I'll just do what I did before. But let's face it, you got to be wary of the jitters going into a big game like this. Super Bowl's unlike any other game you're going to play.
And now he's starting out 0 for 2. We'll see if he can rebound. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now under their veteran head coach, Andy Reid. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
And no doubt he's living out a dream right now he's had dating back to his first days of playing football as a kid. But he certainly can't get lost in the moment right now. There's still a Super Bowl to be played, and his offense, they're looking to him to be their leader. You can take it all in when it's over. Right now, you've got the biggest game of your life to win.
Throwing to start the drive, Dawson. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring it down. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5. Here's the Chiefs punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. He'll look to throw. Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 44-yard line, here's second down and 5. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Washington's got it. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. To about the 26 here.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. And his throw is incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
And his kick is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. Now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Dawson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Up the middle they go. Garrett. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up. And we'll break that one soon.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get with the third down conversion.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They'll look to throw now on first down. That's going to be caught by Richardson.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Garrett, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They run the counter. It's Garrett. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
2nd and 11. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
And that will be incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays, and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. We are just getting started here at Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. 1 quarter in the books. 3-all the score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the 2nd quarter. And we are back and ready to go for the 2nd quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Garden, Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Out of the gun now on third down. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
31 yards on the punt there. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out. By a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. Second down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
And this is dropped.
Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Oh, I don't know if he's sensing contact to come or what, but that's a ball he'd love to have back. That could have gone for big yardage, but it just didn't want to stay in his hands. That's a tough break.
Back to throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanting the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that. Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
And on fourth down, Otis, the punt team sending this one away. And now out comes Minnesota. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1, and that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 47 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
They'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And this one is right down the middle. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3.
So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Off the play fake, Dawson.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over it that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
And this one nearly picked off. Yeah, kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Before we came up to the booth, the last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. They'll look to throw here. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Second down at 6 now from the 42. They'll set up to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 26. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll look to throw again. Now they go screen. It's complete. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Looking to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Jordan Addison from 17 yards out. And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there, because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Now the extra point. And it's up and good to make the score 13-3. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And Jordan Addison capped it off with a touchdown catch. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Dawson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw. Dawson.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
This defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been...
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And now that brings up fourth down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight. As we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed.
CBS Television Sports presents the National Football League Championship.
Mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
Well, if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Back to throw. Dawson. And his throw here's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's fourth down.
On third down, you'll give them that. You just want to make sure that you play the first down line. They were able to get him down and force the punt.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on here to punt it away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
74 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
So from the 37, here's 2nd down and 8.
He'll drop to throw.
And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
Now back to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 44-yard line. 18 yards, a big pickup there on third down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because if you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
2nd down and 4.
Back to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They were maybe hoping for a little bit of a back shoulder fade there, and that's a play that's been in vogue the last few years in all aspects of football. But they couldn't get the hook up there.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
And the Chiefs offense ready to go again.
And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night. I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
In motion goes the tight end. Back to throw now on first down. The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Here's Jones on the return. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. 2nd and 6.
And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
He'll look to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's a tried and
Kevin O'Connell clearly unhappy with that call, and he's thrown that red challenge flag out on the field.
Previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide, and I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the decision to throw out that challenge flag, a good one, is they'll get credited with a completion.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 109 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this Super Bowl.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So that's the end of 3 here in Super Bowl 59 from Caesars Superdome. The 4th and final quarter coming right up. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now there's just 1 quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the 4th quarter. From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd down and 6.
Now a handoff running through the middle. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
On play action, they'll throw.
He had a man open, but he missed it, and it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
And this one is right through, and the lead stretches. 16-3 now.
So that, maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Muscles by at the 25.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points, and they need them badly. Trailing here in the 4th quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10.
It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ealy, 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
Wearing those golden high tops as well.
Looking to throw. Dawson. And the ball is knocked out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I believe I can see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room, too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
So all things considered, that's not the final nail, but it does make things exceedingly difficult now on the other side.
Yeah, because obviously now with a 16-point game, the other guys don't need just 2 touchdowns. They need a couple of 2-point conversions as well. Plus, they'll need either a turnover or an onside kick in there somewhere. So you're just adding to the list of things that need to happen in sequence. And it's going to be a pretty tall order this late in the game.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Chiefs offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, 1st and 10. 2nd down and inches. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. What a Super Bowl it's been to this point. Now a critical 3rd down here. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up, and that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. Point after try forthcoming. And it's no good. He missed it wide to the left. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And that is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That is caught and past the 40 before he's out of bounds. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you try not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Garrett. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
Good call there on first down. And Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up.
In trouble, and he's taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 147 yards rushing now for the ball game on 24 carries.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line. Yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And they have done it. The Minnesota Vikings are the Super Bowl champions, and the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the land of 10,000 lakes. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that,
CBS
because
Television
immortality
Sports
forever
the
and
National
ever.
Football
When you look
League
in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture. That your name will be a part of it.
Oil Division.
That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
Commissioner Roger Goodell set to hand that Lombardi Trophy to the Minnesota Vikings, champions of Super Bowl 59.
For 1970.
So that will conclude our coverage this year on EA Sports. I want to thank my partner, Charles Davis, for another incredible season together in the booth. Till the fall, folks, Brandon Gaudin saying good night from New Orleans.
Get your hand off my penis!